At a busy railway station, a man lives on the periphery of the economy, depending on the spare change of passing commuters, a process of passive consumption that repeats every single day. When a tall, well-dressed businessman walks onto the platform, the man sees him as a high-value target. From his perspective, this is simply an opportunity for a larger-than-average handout. But the businessman refuses the request. He explains his personal philosophy. He is a trader who believes in the law of exchange. If the man has nothing to give in return, he has no grounds to ask for money. The rejection leaves the man questioning his position. He has no money and no goods and no services. He begins to wonder how someone starting from absolute zero can offer anything the world would actually want. He realizes that as long as he remains a passive receiver of charity, he is trapped. Without an exchange of value, his position at the bottom of the social hierarchy is permanent. After days of searching for a solution, he looks toward the wildflowers growing near the station tracks. He realizes these are assets that require no capital to acquire, only the effort to pick them. He begins a new routine. He gathers the flowers and boards the trains. Now, whenever someone gives him a coin, he hands them a wildflower in return. The response is immediate. Passengers who used to look away now reach for the flowers with a smile. The transaction has moved from a moment of pity to a moment of mutual satisfaction. His daily collection of coins increases significantly. The shift from asking for help to providing a product has created a new, more profitable dynamic. Though he is still in the same station, the nature of his work has changed. By introducing an exchange, he has moved from the world of charity into the... Eventually, the same businessman returns to the station. This is the moment to test if the man's new system can hold up under the scrutiny of the person who challenged him. The man approaches the businessman. He offers a flower and waits for the transaction. He is no longer asking for a favor, he is offering a trade. The businessman takes the flower, hands over the money, and tells him, "You have become a businessman, just like me." The statement changes the man's internal perspective. For the first time, he sees himself not as a person in need of help, but as a person with the capacity to trade as an equal. While his actions had already changed, he needed this external acknowledgement to finally update his own internal label. The gap between our behavior and identity is a psychological bottleneck. The man acted as a merchant, but his self-image remained a beggar, creating a ceiling. When validated, his internal label matched external reality. The barrier shattered. Progress occurs when self-perception matches actual value. 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men sit across from each other in a first-class carriage. They look like peers in a high-stakes world. The businessman doesn't recognize the person sitting across from him. He sees a successful contemporary, not the man from the platform. The man explains that he is the former flower seller. He has spent the last few months scaling his floral business, moving from the station platform to a large-scale operation. His success came from a change in strategy. Once he saw himself as a businessman, he stopped spending his earnings on immediate needs and began reinvesting his profits into more inventory. This transition shows that capital becomes a tool for growth only when the person holding it stops thinking in terms of survival and starts thinking in terms of investment. The man realized that the market was already willing to treat him as a merchant. The only thing that had been holding him back was his own refusal to accept that title. We often cling to limiting labels long after they've ceased to be true. These outdated stories become the primary obstacles to our own advancement. To move forward, we must adopt the identity of the person we want to become, while we are still in the process of building that reality. Our external success is often a delayed reflection of our internal self-esteem. By changing how he defined himself, he was able to recognize and act on opportunities that had been right in front of him all along.